Mondays Live. Today is Monday Mindset, and I'm coming on here to talk about the scarcity trap and why you stay stuck and how to rewire your mindset. So, do I have anybody on here? You feeling like you want to start your dream business? You feeling like you want to start things in your life, but you feeling like something is preventing you from moving forward? If that sounds like you, let me know in the chat. And thank y'all so much for coming through today. I appreciate you guys. Okay. Nobody said something yet? Okay. Well, let me tell you something about feeling why you're feeling stuck. When you are trying to manifest the life you deserve, you're feeling stuck because a lot of times you're stuck from the trauma that you're dealing with. Whether you've been through a betrayal that may have dethroned you, whether you're dealing with a heartbreak, whether you're dealing with, certain situations or bullying. Sometimes when you deal with difficult situations, it can put you in a state of fear to where it paralyzes you from making that next step. And I just want to come on here and talk about that today. Like, don't allow fear and having a scarcity mindset to stop you from moving forward. Because I can't speak for everybody else, but I know, you may be tired of watching other people win, sitting on the sidelines, see them doing the very thing that you know you can do, but you refuse not to do it because you're afraid. And I'm going to tell you, like I said, fear will paralyze you. You can't allow fear to stop you from moving forward, but you got to heal what's hurting you in order for you to level that mindset up so that you can make the necessary move to start that dream business. So, do I have anybody in here? Like I said, you're allowing fear to hold you back. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt stuck? Let me know in the chat because I want you guys to engage with me as well. Come on in, come on in. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to just keep talking. But like I said, if you're tired of feeling stuck, just let me know in the chat. Say, I'm ready for my breakthrough. I'm tired of feeling stuck. I'm tired of being in survival mode. What can I do to get me to the next step? The first step is healing because you cannot do anything if you don't heal your mindset. Because your mindset is a powerful tool. You can have all the ideas in the world, but if you don't heal and level up your mindset, you can't even start it. And I'm telling you, like, some people don't realize the effect of how betrayal can affect your mindset and hold you back if you allow it. But if you're in a situation, like I said, you want to level up and you're tired of allowing, little setbacks or certain things that you're dealing with hold you back, let me know right now because I'm here for you guys. And for those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Prophetess Precious K. If you're here and like I said, I'm here to help you transform your life. I appreciate everybody that came to my live today. I try to come on here every Monday. Sometimes I might not make it every Monday, but I try to come on here every Monday just to help you guys because I know like towards the end of the week, things can be tough. Hey, welcome in, Tony. Thank you so much for coming in. Things can be really tough. But I just want to tell you guys, like, I created something powerful for you guys. The ones that suffering, you feel like you're suffering in silence. You feel like you can't level up because that betrayal dethroned you. I created a workbook for you guys. And I already linked it's in the description below, so you could check it out. It's called From Scarcity to Abundance. And you can check it out in my description. For those of you who are struggling with betrayal, heartbreak, grief, or something that dethroned you and you ready to level up, you can check out my workbook in the in my description. And if you want to know what's inside the workbook, it's affirmations. I have powerful tools and strategies that can help you level up your mindset or help you get unstuck. Let me go back to my list. And the title of the chapters that's in there, one of the chapters is called, hold on one second, you guys. I'm trying to go back to it. One of them is about, manifestation and helping you manifest the life you deserve. I have an affirmation journal guide in there to help you with daily prompts to help you, like I said, figure out why you're stuck, feeling like what's holding you back. Because like I said, a lot of times when you're on this journey as the chosen one, you could feel stuck. You could feel isolated, like there's no way out. You could feel like nobody, you don't have no support system. But in this season, God wants you to, be your own support system. You have to work on being independent. Because a lot of times, if we're not careful, thank y'all so much for liking my live, you can fall into the trap of scarcity or getting validation or permission from people before you even start what God called you to do. And I don't want y'all to fall into that trap. I definitely don't want you to fall into that trap of waiting on somebody to tell you what to do. you know. But it also have daily, weekly, and monthly planners in there. It have a section in there for goal setting. And like I said, just powerful chapters in there to help you rewire your mind, to help you figure out why you're stuck. Because if you can't figure out why you're stuck, you can't move on to the next level of what you need to do to get unstuck. Because a lot of times, like I said, you could be in a situation too where you don't even know what's holding you back. Especially like if you got so much going on, so many distractions, you have to zero in on exactly what's taking up your focus, what's causing you not to be able to focus like you need to. So if you're going through that, let me know in the chat. The first chapter in the book is called Understanding Your Income and Expenses, where you can create a budget. The second one is Mindful Spending, Maximizing the Value of Your Money. The third chapter is Growing Your Wealth, The Journey of Saving and Investing. Good evening. Thank you so much for coming in, Angel. Yes. And this workbook is filled with, like I said, 90 pages of worksheets to help you do exercises to help you figure out certain things, and just giving you ideas of what you can do to manifest the life you deserve. Because a lot of times you can want a certain life, but you may not know how to manifest it. If your mind is stuck in poverty and scarcity, you're not thinking abundantly, so you're not going to attract that into your life. Manifestation is about attracting, abundance. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. You can't have the mindset of, oh, I'm broke. Just always in like a down spiral of what's going on in your life, or focusing on that betrayal. Because if you're not careful, you could be so focused on the people in your life that's hurting you, or the things that's hurting you, and your focus can be gone somewhere else versus being, towards focusing on building you. And like I say, don't feel bad. We all been there where we focus on, people who hurt us in our life, situations that we can't, that you think that you can't bounce back from. And that's where I step in at. I help you build that resilient strength. I help you heal that emotional trauma that got you stuck in the first place. Because a lot of times, when people feel stuck, some people just give up the first time. But I done been through so many situations and so many setbacks, so I was able to bounce back fast because I done, went through so many times where I failed and I had to build myself back up. But one thing I did not let it do is dethrone me. As soon as I fell, I learned from that lesson. I just kept applying even more pressure. And that's something that a lot of people don't know how to do. And that's something that I help you build that strength, to keep going no matter what. I help you remain calm in situations that most people will panic in. I done had people that told me, oh, you so composed, you so calm, you're poised. Like, how you able to be so calm in a situation like this? Some people, the average person would, lose it or go crazy. But when you're walking with God, he'll make sure that you're sane. He'll make sure that you have the clarity that you need. And that's why I chose to walk with God. And I'm here to help you guys. God bless me to help you guys do the same. Like, if y'all want to level up your life, level up your mindset, you tired of feeling stuck, and you tired of feeling stagnant in your life. Because a lot of times, a lot of times, some people fall victim into saying what they want to do and not putting in that action. When it comes to this journey, you got to put that action in. You got to do more action than talking. And that's what I learned. You know, you have to learn from your past mistakes. You have to learn from your past mistakes. Hold on, you guys. But if y'all want to do like a Q&A, y'all want to ask certain questions about how to get started, you want to, you know, you don't know what's holding you back, like, let's talk about it. Because that's what I'm here for today. I'm here to help you transform your betrayal into breakthrough. That's what I'm here for. And to let you know that you're not stuck, you're not by yourself. You just got, like I say, you have the tools. You just got to know how to stand in your power. That's what I had to learn. And most of the time, you're not going to know how to stand in your power until you've been put in situations that try to dethrone you. You know, when you go through that pain, that's where you find your strength. That's where I found my strength. You know, but I'm trying to save y'all that step of going through that pain and just jump straight into building your own legacy. Jump straight into, you know, healing what broke you. Because a lot of times people just want to bypass the healing stage. What you can't do is bypass the healing stage. You got to heal. But once you do the healing, you can take off. And if you know, like I said, if you know somebody, especially like with me being a transformational life coach, with me already went through those problems, I can put you on a path to transformation and accelerate your growth. It won't take long because I've already did the hard work. Yep. All I did was pave the way for y'all and blaze the trail so y'all can walk behind me. Walk with me, however y'all want to do it. That's why I build this tribe, because there's so many people, like I said, I'm seeing, and it is very hurtful and unfortunate. But I'm seeing a lot of people tear others down because they think that it's not enough for everybody to win, or only the chosen ones get certain things. But you can too, but you got to show God that you're willing to put the work in. You got to show God that you're not the type of person to look for shortcuts. You can't be afraid to go through the pain. You know, when God's showing you stuff, you got to be obedient and disciplined and get in alignment with what he's calling you to do. A lot of people don't reach their purpose because, like I said, they're not in alignment. They're afraid. You know, the pain is too unbearable for them. But God didn't, you know, God never said the road would be easy. You know, God never said the road would be easy, but you just got to keep applying as much pressure as you can and not let it hinder you or stop you just because you go through a little bit of pain or a difficult situation. Because your mindset, like I say, is very important. You need it. So you can't waste time, because a lot of people, they waste time on things they shouldn't be focusing on, whether it's gossip, whether it's people in your ear, the wrong people in your ear. You know, that's why God sometimes will tell you to come out from amongst certain people that's draining your spirit. So sometimes you have to check your circle to figure out, you know, especially if you're feeling stagnant, like what is it that's holding me back, or why do I feel this way around certain people? Why do I feel like I'm not growing when I'm around this person? And if you feel like that, you got to change your circle. You know, you have to use your discernment and be very intentional with your growth, you know. Because a lot of times, a lot of prospects that I've coached, like some of them felt a little bit discouraged because they felt like they wait too long to start. But let me tell you something, it's never too late to start. You know, but what it is too late for if you don't start at all, you know, so you got to start. You have to try. And that's the thing too. If you're the type of person, you know, like I said, you're afraid, sometimes fear can put you in a situation to where you might end up start being jealous of other success. That's why some people are tearing others down, because they're doing something that they know they can do, but they don't want to put the work in. That's why it's best to go after your dreams and not wait. Because as soon as you see somebody else doing it, it's going to make you mad. And you can't get mad at nobody else because you don't know what they went through to get where they are. I had so many people in this season got mad at me because I'm applying pressure. I'm focused. Nobody had no idea all the things I went through, all the sleepless nights, all the times I gave up hanging out to focus on myself and focus on what God called me to do. Doing research all night. Sometimes I wouldn't even go to sleep until I find out the answer to certain things. Like that, just how hungry I am for success, you know. And it's not always about the material wealth, it's the spiritual wealth for me. So you just gotta be hungry and really want it for real. That's what I noticed. Because a lot of people, they want the success, they want the glory, but they don't want the story behind what you had to go through to get there. And see, God is not going to bless and give somebody a breakthrough that's not willing to put in the work. That's why you see a lot of people tearing down the chosen ones in the workplace, in families. Some people feel like they should be ahead of you. Some people place you in a box with limits and didn't expect you to pass them. So it's like you can't allow nobody to put you in no box. You got to keep moving, and keep thriving. You cannot let nobody put a limit on your success, but people will try to do it. And if you allow it, you're going to stay stuck and stagnant because guess what? You trying to impress them. You shrinking yourself down, because you feel like you need permission to start. And that's where a lot of people are messing up at, feeling like they need validation and permission. And like I said, those type of people, they end up getting mad because they see somebody doing something they wish they would have did. And that's why, when a lot of people come across the chosen ones, we like a mirror to them, a mirror of, because we did the work, we've been obedient to God. And when they see us, they see what they lacking. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they attack us, because they see us doing the work. They see God blessing us in our life from us being obedient. And they take that as, oh, she got it easy. No, we didn't get it easy. You don't know what we went through behind closed doors. You don't know all them nights we had to do the ugly cry. You don't know those nights where we had to be alone by ourselves when nobody had our back. It's like they dismiss what you had to go through. And that's why you have to be careful who you hang around. Because like I said, let me tell you something. When you're trying to make it to the top, it's gonna be a lot of people falling off. Whether it's your family, whether it's your friend group, whether it's people at the job, the coworkers, people seeing you thriving, and they're mad because they don't see what's going on in your life. Some people get obsessed with wanting to know your next move. But you can't tell everybody your next move, because guess what? You have some people, they're evil and wicked. They'll try to block and stop and delay your progress because they want you to stay stuck like they are. Some people don't want to grow, and those are the ones you got to ditch, because they'll try to destroy you at any chance they get. And when I tell you jealousy is so real, jealousy is getting so bad to people out here unaliving people, just because they want something that you have, or because people respect you more than they respect them. They don't want to do the work. They done mess their name up. People out here smearing your name, trying to make it look like you're a bad person to other people because they fell short on what they should have did. And when they see you, you're a reminder, and it makes them feel bad. It makes them shrink next to you. And because they feel that way, they want to attack you. So you're going to deal with, people attacking the mirror. And that's what I had to realize. Like, it's very painful as a chosen one to go through certain situations. But I just thank God that it strengthened me. And I thank God that I was able to see people true colors on who they are, behind the mask. Because it's a lot of people wearing masks in this season, and they get mad because when you're a truth teller, you speak up on certain things. And, because we speak up, it's not that we're trying to attack you. We're speaking up to bring awareness so that other people that might be chosen, or and honestly, so they can awaken too. But you have some people that just don't want to wake up. They want to stay living in dysfunction. They want to stay living in illusions of what power looks like, because they done been pretending and performing so long, they don't even know how to be their authentic self. And then when they see you as a chosen one, you're confident, you have a lot of charisma, you might be the type of person, you dress the part, and not to compete, but because your aura is that. Your anointing is so powerful that, your authenticity is that. And some people confuse authenticity with, you being arrogant. No, that's not arrogance. You don't know what confidence is because you've been pretending too long. And that's why you can't hang around people like that, because like I said, they'll try to sabotage you, they'll attack you, they'll be trying to bully you on your page. You're going to deal with it. And they're trying to cyber bully you on your page because they want you to be insecure, and they want you to doubt yourself so that you won't keep going. You're going to have a lot of people in your life where they try to, like I said, stunt your growth because they feel like you're surpassing them. Because, as a chosen one, most of the times you be 10 steps ahead of them. And not because y'all in a race, because life is not a race. You did the work and they chose to stay stagnant. That's the part they don't want to talk about. But this is the part that I'm going to talk about, because I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing on my page. I'm not going to allow nobody to make me water down my message. I give it to you straight. I'm very authentic. I'm just me. And that's how I was able to get to where I'm at. And like I say, I'm still growing, and of course, God's still building in my life. I ain't exactly where I want to be at yet, but I can tell that I can tell you that my life is accelerating, my life is improving, and I see God moving in my life. A lot of times people get discouraged because, with God being unseen, they feel like, oh, I can't see him. You feel like nothing is happening, but I promise you, something is happening. He might not move when you want him to move, but he'll be there when you need him to move. I'm telling you, God is not going to move on your timing. That's what I had to learn. God is going to move at the right time. And you have to be one of those people to, like I said, you have to be obedient. You have to be very disciplined. You have to sacrifice certain things. And when I say sacrifice, what I mean is, all those nights that you've been hanging out at the club or with the wrong people, cut them off, so you can spend that time and pour it into God, pour it into yourself so God can show you who you are. God can't show you who you are if you got so many people distracting you. You're going to places that keeping you in a drunken state. I'm telling you, like, on my journey, I just was disciplined with a lot of things, and it surprised me as well. Like, not that I was a bad person or nothing, but, I used to like to go out, have a good time. But I told myself, I'm like, I don't want to feel stagnant. I want to be at this level. I want to do this. I want to do that. And what I did was I stayed in my lane. I did not compete with nobody. I did not compare myself to nobody else's journey. I stayed tunnel vision in my lane. That's how I was able to get to where I'm at now with my mindset. And sometimes, let me tell you something, when God bless you, he's not going to always give you the support at the beginning. He might not give you the provision at the beginning, but let me tell you something. When he give you your blueprint, he wants you to move. He want to see what you're going to do. Because God not going to give you all the answers. He want to know what you're going to do, and he'll meet you halfway. Because, see, that's why a lot of people are not where they need to be at, because they're waiting on God to just pour the blessing in their lap and not do no work. God is not going to bless you like that. You got to put in the work. You got to show God, I really want this. You know what I'm saying? You have to show God that when you bless me, I'm not going to turn my back on you. Because a lot of times, God stretch your faith because he want to make sure that when he bless you, that you don't turn your back on him and don't serve him anymore. Because people try to do that. That's why he drag out the process. That's why he take you through that pruning stage to and humble you. He'll make sure you humble before he give you that breakthrough. Because he definitely humbled me. And I'm going to tell you something. You're going to have a lot of people on this journey. When they see you growing, when they see you going through your spiritual awakening, they're going to try to humble you. Because like I said, to them, because they're performing and pretending, it looks like you're performing, but you're not. They're performing. You know what I'm saying? And they'll try to humble you because they're looking at you like, oh, you think you better than us. No, you just need to rise to my level. God put me in this, environment or in this family so that you can see me as an example. I'm a role model so that you can get on board. But like I say, some people don't like the fact that God is using you as the example because they think it should be them. But like I said, if you're not putting in the work, it's not going to be you. And you can't get mad at who God choose. The person that God chose is the one that put the work in, is the one that, like I said, sacrificed, is the one that went above and beyond when everybody else out gossiping at the club and doing stuff they ain't got no business doing. And not saying that you got to be perfect for God to choose you, because I wasn't perfect, but God showed me areas where I need to improve in. And he showed me, like I said, I went through certain situations or battles, because some of those battles that you go through that's unseen, he's going to allow you to face them because he want to strengthen you. Because sometimes you don't even know how much strength you have. Because I'm be honest, I didn't until I started getting those attacks. And I'm like, oh no, I ain't about to let nobody, just overstep my boundaries and think they're going to do me in a kind of way. I had to stand on business. And when I did that, it felt good. You know what I'm saying? It felt good, like, oh, that wasn't so bad. I was able to stand on business in that situation, because sometimes, with us being chosen, we handle things with grace. We don't do drama. But you have people that operate, the narcissists, they operate on chaos and confusion. And see, we don't operate on chaos and confusion. And what happens is they get confused because they're like, dang, you know what I'm saying? I did this. I tried to cut her off while she was walking. I tried to do all this stuff to provoke her. Why isn't it working? Because you can't provoke the chosen one. We already know what you're doing. We're 10 steps ahead of you. We already know what you're going to do before you do it. You think God going to choose us and not fully equip us? It just, and that's the part they don't understand. They try to outsmart God. Some people think they are God, and that's why they're not going to make it in life. When you think you better than the creator, you'll never make it. Welcome in, Missy Merge. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for coming in. If you missed the topic tonight, the topic is the scarcity trap, why you're stuck, and how to rewire your mind for wealth. That's what we're talking about tonight. And I was just basically just explaining to them how certain situations can keep you stuck and stagnant and paralyze your mindset from making a move that you need to make. And I was just briefly telling them about my journey and, how I stumble across my purpose and things that I've experienced. Like I said, I experienced a lot of things, betrayal, but I didn't let it dethrone me. Did it hurt? Yes, but I'm strong. I bounced back quick. And I didn't sit there and cry and boo-hoo. I didn't do none of that. I just stand on business, and I did what I had to do to get to where I'm at today with my spiritual walk. And let me tell you something, when God bless you, it's not always money at first. He blessing you with strength. You know what I'm saying? Like giving you that strength for where you can endure so many attacks to where you're unshaken. And the people that's attacking you is going to bounce off, they're going to be looking at you like, dang, because to you, those attacks are bouncing off you like water. And they're looking at you like, dang, the things that I used to do to affect them don't work anymore. I don't know who this message is for, but God is making somebody unrecognizable in this season. And see, they don't understand that process. When God make you unrecognizable, those attacks are not going to work. And that's why they get upset. And that's where they start feeling exposed. So let me tell you something. When a narcissist feel exposed, that's when you'll notice them trying to attack you and try to tear you down. They try to make it seem like to everybody else that you're a bad person. And you ain't even did nothing to them but be your authentic self. Mr. Murray said, I have been stepping out on faith, holding on to God's unchanging hand. That's right. You're doing very good. Because you know what? God said, do not move by sight, but move by faith. And that's why a lot of people, they're making mistakes because, it can look like everything is crumbling around you. But, what I'm saying? That caused a lot of people to stop. But if you believe in faith over sight, you'll move by faith and you wouldn't let what you see stop you. And that's what helped me. I'm gonna be honest, like so much stuff was happening around me, you guys. Like I said, I was losing family members. You get out of relationships that you're not in alignment with. It's a lot of things that I've been through, you guys. And not saying that I didn't think I can bounce back. I didn't know how I was going to bounce back. But let me tell you something. That's where God step in and give you that clarity. And now that he gave me that clarity, I can help you guys, gain clarity as well. Definitely not stepping in God's shoes, because his shoes too big for me. But I can help you guys, from what he showed me. I'm staying in my lane. I let God do his big one. But I can help you guys, And like I say, starting with this workbook, if you're ready to heal and level up your mindset and shift it from thinking scarcity, so, to more abundantly, go ahead and grab my workbook right now in the description, because it'll help you. Got a lot of things that'll help you, because like I say, some people don't even understand that it's, it takes you budgeting your money, taking you making goals, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't just be the type of person to save money, if you don't have a plan or a goal. You know, God don't want to bless you and then you squander the money. You know, he want to, or you allow people, the wrong people at that, to just take from you. That's why God make you wait before he bless you, to make sure that he shows you that, okay, this person can't go with you to the next level. They're going to hinder you. They're going to rob you. They're going to block your progress. So he go ahead and move all them out the way. And while he's doing that, you can't see, you know, what he's doing exactly, but you see people pouring out your life. And when you see people pouring out your life, yes, you're going to feel isolated, but just know that that isolation is for a purpose. Look at it like it's a hermit season, because that's what my page is about. You know, hermit. You know, hermit mode. That's why, you know, because I've been through a hermit mode, had to go through that. You know, and with you being a hermit, like with me being a hermit, you go through long seasons of solitude, long seasons of isolation, where, you know, I'm gonna be honest, when God moved into your life and when he rebirthed you, the people that used to be in your life that was draining your energy, you're not even going to want to be around them no more. You're going to be ready to get away from them. I can't even be around the same people who I used to be around. Not everybody, you know, it's just certain people I can't be around because my energy, you know, their energy don't vibrate well with my frequency, you know. But like I said, it's not because you think you're better than nobody. It's just that you on a different path than some people, and everybody can't go where you're going. So don't be afraid to detach from the wrong people. And if you have problems, you know, knowing how to detach, I master detachment. I can help you with that as well. Missy Mercy, that's right. God sets us chosen ones apart. Exactly. You know, and when he set you apart, you cannot be hanging up with the same people that try to drag you down. You know, and like I said, with chosen ones, we done gave them chance after chance. You know, I like your name is Emerge, because that's exactly what I did. We emerged stronger. I like that name. You know, you emerge stronger as a chosen one. And when you emerge, you become unrecognizable. And that's why the same, you know, when people try to attack you, it don't hit the same. They're looking at it like, dang, she done changed. Like, why isn't this working? Those same tactics are not gonna work. And that's why, you know, that's why they're feeling exposed, and that's why they get mad, because they feel exposed. But if you're around somebody that's getting mad because they feel like you exposed them and their mask fell off, come out from amongst them, because their insecurities are not your burden to carry. That's what I had to learn. Like when I used to be around people that felt insecure, or had friends, or, you know, dealt with coworkers or family members, when I seen them was insecure, I used to always be the one to try to uplift them. But you can't uplift somebody that don't want to be uplifted. You can't save nobody that don't want to be saved. You can't help nobody that don't want to help themselves. And that's what I had to realize, you know, and that's why God say, okay, you need to take a step back and let me step in. You know, you got to surrender to God's will. And that's what I did. Once I surrendered to his will, I'm like, you know what? You know, I'm focusing on everybody else, trying to get along with everybody else. But guess what? I wasn't focusing on me. But when God pulled me and I got into my hermit mode, I cut off a lot of stuff. I'm telling you, and a lot of people, not even being mean, not even being cold, but to work on me. Because I was missing a lot of stuff. My life was beginning to get stagnant because I'm so focused on somebody else and not myself. Thank y'all so much for coming in and showing love in the live. Yeah, I was more focused on myself and not, you know, well, at the time when I was like in a relationship, I'm more focused on that person than me. You know what I'm saying? What I realized too, you can't let nobody else define who you are. You can't let nobody else define your happiness. You got to be happy from within, you know, and you can't be in relationships where y'all are not healed. You know, because that's why I made, you know, most of my mistakes too, getting in relationships where I haven't healed, the person that I've been talking to haven't healed or haven't grown, you know, to where they need to grow to or get the lesson that they need, you know, and like I said, I don't bash nobody just because they haven't grown. That doesn't mean that they're a horrible person. You know, some people don't know how to heal, and that's where I step in and I help you and I show you and I help you shift your mindset so you can step into abundance, you know. Love comes from within, not without. That's right, you know. And like I said, you know, you have some people there in relationships, you know, and they're thinking that, oh, God gonna make a way. If God did not ordain that relationship, and if y'all are not in alignment, God would not make a way for that relationship. That relationship gonna fall apart because you can't have no relationship with God in it. When God bless you, you need to have God as the center of everything. I can't speak for everybody else, but I know God is the center of everything for me. I put God first. And since I've been doing that, I've been definitely seeing a difference. Because like I said, a lot of people misunderstand and underestimate God because they can't see God. You know what I'm saying? But just because you can't see him, that don't mean he ain't moving. He'll start talking to you in ways that you would never imagine. But if you don't surrender, you won't know it. You know. And that's why I say, I just don't like to see people bashing and tearing others down. And you deal with that a lot in the workplace. You deal with that a lot in families because, like I said, families, some members of the family make the wrong decisions and they get set back, then they mad because it looked like you moving ahead of them. And see where they mess up at is thinking, life is a race. Life is not a race. When God ready to move you and bless you, you got to wait on your time. And see, the problem is people want to go on somebody else's turn. No, it's not your turn yet. You got to wait till your turn. And then they get to the point to where they don't want to celebrate you as a chosen one. They thinking, oh, she good. No, that's you don't know who's good. You don't know what we got to go through. We went through a lot of stuff in our lives. Hey, Lizzie, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you stopping by. We went through a lot of stuff that people wouldn't imagine us going through. But, oh, thank you so much. She said she loved my messages. I appreciate it. And let me tell you something. All my messages be authentic and raw. Like, I don't sugarcoat nothing, and I'm just real. I've always been real. But you have people out here that try to, change who you are, trying to, change the narrative. No, don't change the narrative. I am who I am. Yes. I am me. And see, that's why God is bringing his chosen ones from the back of the line to the front, because I don't know, I can't speak for everybody else, but, when it comes to you being chosen, a lot of people want to try to keep you hidden. They want to keep you, like I say, boxed in to make it look like to everybody else that you're not who you say you are. You crazy. They want to label you. I don't have anybody ever been through that in here where people just want to label them because they couldn't comprehend the level of the anointing that's on your life. When people don't understand your anointing, they want to label you or they attack it. And if you're around them people, let me tell you something. Those are not the ones you want to take with you on your journey. God telling you to come out from amongst them. And you are doing an excellent job with it, boo. Oh, thank you so much, Liz. I thank you so much for all the love that you come in here and show me, and the positivity. I love positive energy in my lives. God is moving tonight. Yes, Lord. And that's why, like I said, she said, yes, they tried to label me and put me in a box. Missy Murd said that. I'm telling you, they'll try to, but let me tell you something. You got to bust out that box like a can of biscuits and let them know that, I ain't the one of the two. And not even in a way of being combative or retaliation. You just got to let them know, and not that we got to prove anything. Stand on business. And they'll see. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing about us, we don't clap back. We just stand on business with our results, and they'll look like, dang, I thought I was holding her back, but now she even, she done surpassed us, and we wasn't even racing. As a chosen, we wasn't even competing with them, but you always end up surpassing them because guess what? They're trying to stunt your growth and put stumbling blocks in your way. But guess what? God said, whoever rolled that stone, it's going to roll back on them. I'm telling you, I know it said it in the Bible. It'll roll right back on you. And that's why you don't do stuff to hinder nobody grow. If you feel yourself, because I'm going to be honest, we're all human. You might feel insecure about something, whether it's somebody you want to lose weight, or you feel like you want to obtain a certain degree. I'm just talking in general. If you feel that way, work on yourself. Don't tear nobody else down that have that. Let them be your motivation to want to get it, not because they got it. And that's what a lot of people make the mistake of too, is trying to mimic somebody else's path. Don't try to mimic their path. You take inspiration and learn from them, but you find your own path because God created all of us unique and different. Lizzie said, yes, this. Thank y'all so much for coming in. Yes, God created us differently. But a lot of people, they try to mimic you. They try to copy you because, like I said, they feel like you're outshining them. Hallelujah. My haters are making me greater. What my enemies meant for bad has worked out for my good. That's right. I love that you said that, because that's the truth. That's the honest to God truth. And they don't even realize it. They think that they're holding you back. No, you're actually elevating me, because without you, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, because guess what? You gave me that fuel that I need, that pushed me, that launched me quicker, that accelerated my growth. That's why I got a video too that say, tell your enemies thank you. I feel bad for those people. And that's the thing. Yeah, you can feel bad for them, but guess what? They got to feel bad for themselves and want to do better. That's what I had to realize, because I used to get stuck in feeling bad for certain people. But no, if they don't feel bad for themselves, you can't stay stuck in that emotion, because it'll hold you back. You got some people that are master manipulators, where they know you feel bad for them, and they'll use your emotions to their advantage and pull you back down in the mud with them. But you got to be very strong-willed. You have to have that resilient strength to not allow people to pull you back down in the mud with them. And I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna take everything in you to not want to do that, because they're gonna press every button they can to try to provoke a reaction out of you. For some reason, people are obsessed in this season with reactions. They waiting on a reaction. They just keep poking and poking and poking. But let me tell you something. You keep poking the chosen one, you're gonna wish you never poked them. I'm telling you. Because once we start, we don't let up. And we do everything with grace, and see the stuff that they do, it looks bad because, like I said, it's coming from a place of chaos and confusion. But the stuff that we do, we can speak on it, and it don't look bad, because guess what? God turned it for our good, and we actually help the people that's dealing with it. Ain't that the truth? Yes. So, like I said, when you the chosen one, you go through a lot, but you learn a lot. And see, the thing about it is, the same people that's attacking you, they're going to appreciate you later, and they're going to start thinking, because see, they're attacking you because they don't understand you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, they attack what they don't understand. But when they start seeing how you move, it'll start clicking to them like, oh, and God will start awakening them. They'll be like, oh, now I see. But guess what? It's too late then, because you done mess up. You done mess up the relationship. And one thing, I've learned is, you can't refriend a bad friend. You can't refriend a bad family member. Refamily a bad family member. I'm going to say it like that. Yep. Once they show you who they are, believe them the first time. And I'm going to be honest, like a lot of people, they try to, make you feel like, oh, you got to talk to them. That's your family. No, if they keep stabbing you, that is, that's not family at this point, because a person that love you won't hurt you like that. A person that love you won't prey on your downfall. A person that love you won't smear your name or drag your name in the mud to make themselves feel taller. So you got to leave them where they are. And that's the hardest part to do, especially like if it's somebody that you love, somebody you close to, whether it's like a cousin, sibling, a parent, but if you don't come out from amongst them, they'll try to destroy your life. I'm telling you. And you cannot give them their ammunition to destroy you. She said, come on, prophetess, let the God use you. We need a word from the Lord. Yeah, I'm coming here speaking tonight. And you know what? I've been going through so much stuff, you guys. But what I've been noticing, that it motivated me to want to get on here even more. They don't understand, like, when they attack us, it give us fuel to want to go harder. And that's what I've been noticing about myself, because sometimes God allow you to go through things because, like I said, he wants you to stretch. He want to stretch your faith, and he want to push you, because like I said, sometimes we can think that, oh, I ain't going to be able to do that. If you tell yourself you're not going to be able to do something, you're not. But if you push yourself and allow God to push you, and, like I said, you might not like the fuel from the attacks, because I hate, dealing with the attacks, but at the same time, they strengthen me. You know what I'm saying? They made me very strong, because I'm like, okay, what I'm not going to do is accept that disrespect. And it made me stand on business. And like I said, I don't like to get in a space to where I'm coming across like I'm combative. I don't like feeling like that. I don't like to bring out that mysterious side of me. But if I have to bring it out, I'll bring it out. I have a cousin who told me my oldest sister was telling everyone behind my back that I was easy, Lord, when I am opposite to easy. And see, that's the thing. They be trying to make you look like a bad person. I'm telling you. Or especially, let me see. And see, that's the thing. They want to make it look like, it's sad, though, that somebody would say something like that. Try to make it seem like easy when it comes to men. Like anybody can have you. And see, the thing about it is, they want to mess up your name so that you won't have, you won't meet that right person. But you can't allow them to mess that up. You got to come out from amongst that. And it's sad that it was your sister that did that. I'm telling you, your siblings will be the one that hurt you because they was in the house with you. They know, they think they know all your buttons. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you something. God making you unrecognizable today ain't even going to know who you are in this season. They're not even going to know how to attack you no more. And my thing is, they shouldn't even want to attack you. The fact that they want to attack you is a problem. And God is not going to allow it. I mean, she said, he pushed me out of my comfort zone into my blessings, my own sister. Yeah, exactly. I can relate to that. Yep, they'll push you right into your blessing. They don't even realize it. They thinking that all them attacks that they doing and all that betrayal that they're doing is going to keep you stuck and stagnant so that they can feel like they're above you. If you got to step on somebody to rise, you already lost anyway. And I'm not even competing. And you not even competing. They already lost. But what it is, they, like I said, from you saying your older sister did that to you, she's seen something inside of you that intimidated her, that made her feel like she's lacking what you embody, and it made her jealous. So guess what? She went to the easy thing, the easy route. That the devil, let the devil use them as a vessel. Let the devil use that her as a vessel to come against you. And she fell right in the trap. Yep. Fell right in the trap. Because let me tell you something about the devil. Like, when he already know that you harboring feelings of jealousy, it's easy for him to use you as a host, because guess what? You already feeling jealous. So guess what he can say? He'll just keep encouraging you, like, to do bad stuff. Go do this, go do that. And what you do? You go do it because you're already feeling jealous anyway. And that's exactly where you fumble your blessing, when you let the enemy trick you out your spot. And when they let the enemy trick them out their spot, guess what? They want to come for yours. But the devil is a liar. Ain't no devil in hell gonna come take what God placed in the inside of me or you. But they'll try it. They will try it. And the thing about it is, after they hurt you, they sit back lurking and watching everything you do. Ain't no need to watch and lurk for me, because guess what? You done mess up with me. You move how you move, I'm moving how I move. And some people attack you, in your family or at the job, because guess what? They want you to beg them. Nobody's going to beg you, or they want you to need them. They'll intentionally put you in situations to create a situation to make you need them. But when you show them that you can stand on your own 2 feet and don't need them, that's what makes them upset. That's what I realized. That hurt them even more. And not that you even trying. People cannot stand to see you in a state of independence and doing for yourself. That's why God wants you to be independent, because let me tell you something. If you be the type of person where you codependent on somebody, you're going to go through abuse. They're going to make you beg them, and you just going to miss out on your blessings. You will never reach your purpose by letting somebody, letting somebody box you in, or letting somebody keep you in a cage and dangle a carrot in your face till they feel like you deserve something. No, God didn't put us here to be, to bow. He did not put us here to bow. He did not put us here to beg. But you got to know that, and like I said, a lot of people, they go through so much situations. I'm going to be honest, when you go through pain, it feels hard. You know what I'm saying? You're thinking that everything is hard, but it's not hard. You got to, just be creative and say, you know what, I'm going through this situation, but how can I get around this? Nobody's perfect. That's the bottom line. Picking ourselves up. That's right. And growing and waking up and becoming a better person to make progress. That's right. And see, that's the thing about us, us chosen ones. Like, we don't let nothing dethrone us. Yeah, we might feel down for a little while, but we ain't gonna stay down, because I've been through a lot. When my father passed and I was grieving, I was applying pressure even while I was grieving. I never stopped building my dreams. I never stopped building my legacy. And that's what made a lot of people mad, because they thought, oh, I know if it's going to throw her off. No, baby, I never stopped grinding. I was grinding before my daddy left, and I was grinding while he was going through what he was going through, and after he was going through what he was going through. Because guess what? My dad would not want me to be the type of person to just give up. But as I was grinding, I still was there for him as well. But, you can't stop your life. You got to keep going. And that's where a lot of people fail at. They stop their life. I am in in my from pain to my purpose season. Okay, you're in your from pain to purpose season. That's right. Well, you in the right place. God led you. If God led you here, you in the right place. But that's where I'm at too. I went through my pain, losing my father. Because sometimes, a death can be a spiritual awakening. I went through death, losing my father, grieving, family betrayal, workplace betrayal. I went through a lot of stuff. But guess what? I didn't let it dethrone me. I kept applying pressure all the way through. And when I was going, I'm telling you, I make pain look good. Like, you will never, as an enemy, you will never catch me or have the satisfaction to see me broken down and doing an ugly cry. I'll never give you that satisfaction to see me down. And like I said, not that we have to perform or pretend, but I'm telling you, these people, they want to see you down bad, and they take pleasure in seeing you in pain. Sometimes it feels overwhelming. I promise you, you're right, Liz. It does feel overwhelming. But God is not going to put so much on you that you can't bear it. That's what I had to realize. And sometimes I ain't gonna lie, I made the mistake of saying to God, okay, God, I can't bear this. But God showed me, like, yes, you can. Because I'm here with you. Okay, Mr. Mercy, I lost my dad too a year ago. He was a minister and a man of God. I'm so sorry to hear about your loss, Mr. Merge. That's great that he was, a minister and a man of God. He set the right example for you. These people love to see us in pain. Yeah. They love to see you in pain to the point that they create situations for you to stay in pain, to stay stuck. They want to see, they thrive on seeing you struggle. And like I said, I'm gonna be honest, when I experienced my awakening, it just seemed like life was like a circus to me. People acting like clowns, playing in your face. And I'm just like, this is some weird stuff. Like, I don't want to be around nobody that act like this. You laughing because you see me in pain, or you see me lose somebody I really care about, and that makes you happy. You can't rock with people like that. But guess what? They'll be laughing at you when you're going through that pain, but when God bless you, then they want to rock with you. Nah, keep that same energy you had before and give me 50 feet. Yep. And that's what makes me upset. Like I said, from seeing people, that you be the person as the chosen one, you do the hard work. And because they know that they done fail in life, they know that they did stuff that they couldn't come back from, but they seen you came back from it. It disturbs the demons that's inside of them. I'm telling you. But guess what? Their burden is not your burden to carry. And that's what I had to realize. Because like I said, you have some people, like I said, whether it's in your family, they'll make you feel like you have to talk to this person. Or you obligated, like, you got to talk to them. No, you don't. No, you don't. You do not have to talk to them. Or you might be at a workplace where people, might say, oh, that's your manager because they got this rank, this, that, and the third. They can talk to you in a kind of way, or don't outshine them. No, if I want to come to work looking a certain way, I'm not going to shrink down who I am and reduce who I am to make you feel comfortable. I'm going to be me. And if you can't handle it, you need to go heal. Because that's not my burden to carry. Like I said, you're going to deal with attacks at the job, with people, like I said, with chosen ones, they jealous of who you are because they're pretending to embody what you already embody naturally. Okay, so Lisa said, I lost my dad at 6 years old, and I have seen him twice in my dreams. When I think about my father, I smile. He was a hard worker, and I remember he loved me very much, although he was always hard working. That's awesome. That he loved you, that he care about you. And like I said, I know it's hard to lose him at 6 years old, but just know that he'll want you to keep going and be happy. And just, it's awesome. Just like I said, he loved you very much. Somebody said the more they try to cause setbacks, it makes us come back even better. That's right, Miss Emerge. It sure does. And that's the thing. And no matter what you've been through, like I said, some people think because you went through, like Miss Lisa said, she lost somebody, I lost somebody, they think because you went through a hard time that you're not going to be able to bounce back. But you end up bouncing back quicker than the ones that try to dethrone you. Who am I talking to today? And not that, like I said, not that you're competing. We don't compete, we create. I'm telling you, like, when I was going through everything, I'm going to be honest, through my whole situation of, my father passed, after he passed, I was grieving, but what helped me, I was creating. When I was creating, that helped me heal. It helped me, kept my mind focused on, on positive things and not thinking of who betrayed me or who did all this negative stuff around my father's death. My mind was just so focused because I was creating. Because let me tell you something, when your parents leave here, they wouldn't want you to stay stuck in your trauma. My father, he would want me to keep going, and that's what I did. He want me to keep applying pressure. Lizzie say once my oldest sister told me she wished I had never been born because she felt my dad would pay more attention to me than her after I was born and when I was a baby. And see, that's the thing, when you're dealing with siblings, it always be rivalry because of the parents. They feel like a certain parent show favoritism, and it's not that they're showing favoritism. They done showed a side of them that they shouldn't have showed, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, they done disrespect that parent to the fact that the parent don't look at them in the same way because you mess up your own relationship with that parent. And see, and they be jealous of how your relationship is because, like I say, as a chosen one, you move with grace. You don't be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? You're very helpful. It's a difference, and your parents can see that. And it's not that your parents showing favoritism. The sister feels guilty because they know that they wasn't a good person like they should have been when it came to that parent. And so that's why they feel like, and they that's a manipulation tactic. Oh, he like you better than me, or she like you better than me. No, you mess up your relationship with them, and you trying to blame me and project that on me. No, you messed it up. And because my relationship is strong, don't get mad at me. But I'm telling you, when you have a strong relationship with a parent, you're going to go through sibling rivalry where they'll try to destroy everything and sabotage everything you're doing because they're jealous of y'all relationship. And when it comes to sibling rivalry, they'll try to isolate you from your parent. They'll try to isolate you from other family members because they're jealous of how people see you. They don't want nobody to look at you like you great. They done gave them a false narrative of you, telling them you crazy or something wrong with you. No, ain't nothing wrong with me. Something wrong with you. It's them. Let me tell you something, Liz. It's not you. It's them. And that's what I had to see. And like I said, I don't talk about my personal stuff on here too much, but I'm telling you that people will manipulate you in your family and at the workplace. And like I said, when it comes to your parent, like I said, people will try to draw a wedge in between you. But like I said, their burden is not your burden to carry. If you mess up their relationship, that's on you. If you don't like me because my parent, favors me more than you because you destroyed the relationship, that's on you. I celebrated my dad's heavenly birthday on March 4th. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, still celebrate. I know for me and my dad, we got the same date, and I still celebrate too. I don't celebrate with, certain family members, but I still celebrate. And I don't have to be around a whole bunch of people to have fun. In fact, I like it when I'm not around a lot of people. Okay, Lizzie say, because since she was 9 years old and I was a baby, my dad thought I needed a little more attention. And see, that's the thing, when you're a baby, of course your parents going to give you more attention than they do to the oldest. And that's another thing that they misconstrue too. You're younger. Thank God for that. We all have that in common. Yeah, like I said, you're going to go through family betrayal. And that's why most of you right now is on this path. You probably went through sibling rivalry. You probably went through a rivalry where you dealing with mean, bitter cousins trying to fuss and fight with you or staring at you, giving you the stank look because they, like I said, they jealous and bitter. They didn't put the work in to get where you are. They feel like you should be beneath them. No, if you didn't put the work, you going to stay stagnant. You didn't put the work in, you stay stagnant. I'm not about to wait on you to catch up when you fumbled your calling, when you let the enemy trick you about your spot. You're not going to come for mine, and you're not going to give me no dirty, nasty look because you jealous of me. If you give me a dirty, nasty look, I will cut you off in a second. You have to master the attachment. If you're dealing with somebody in your family giving you nasty, evil looks because they jealous of your success, cut them off with no explanation, point blank. I don't care who they are because they will try to sabotage your success at every chance they get. And how you can tell when certain family members in your are not good for you if all they do is dwell on chaos and confusion and negativity. That's how you know. When you tell them something good, guess what happened? They get quiet. Those not your people. And God telling you, wake up and get from around them. That's why when you're a prophetess, you don't have no honor in your hometown. That's why God removes you. And that's why I had to learn too. Because I'm gonna be honest, like, I did know that I had spiritual gifts, but I did not know God was calling me to be a prophetess. But I knew that I knew about things that was going to happen before they happened. And I'm like, I guess I was in denial. Like, I didn't think God was, I didn't know, not that I underestimated who I was, but I'm like, I didn't know God was calling me to be a prophetess, but I'm telling you, God, he'll remove you and snatch you up out that toxic family. She said that God for that. Okay, she said my oldest sister would constantly bring up my past even after I had already recovered from that. And that's a trick of the enemy too. She trying to bring up your past because you outgrew her. That's why she's doing that. You outgrew her and she wants you to stay in the stay where she knew and where she felt comfortable. But let me tell you something. Don't fall in that trap of letting somebody throw your past back up to you. You don't move on for your past. Tell her you don't live there anymore. And like I said, sometimes sad to say you have to remove yourself from them because they'll try to hold you back and hinder your growth. Because I'm gonna be honest, like some of them don't even want to see you grow. And like I said, just because they did things that they're not proud of, it's not your fault. You can't allow them to blame you for something that they done. That's not your problem. But they'll do it if you allow it. And like I said, I'm a very forgiving person. I went through a lot of things and I forgave a lot of people. But let me tell you something. In this season right here, it's a wrap. I'm not going back and forth with nobody no more. Once you show me who you are, that's it. You don't get no second chance. Because guess what? You messed up that first one. And let me tell you something. A snake, if a snake bites you, guess what they're going to do if you give them another chance? They're going to bite you again. You can't keep giving the same, snake a chance in your life. I told her many times, and she would persist when she did worse than me, but I disengaged. Yeah, see, that's the thing. She competing and comparing her life with yours. And see, God don't want, us to do that. And see, that's what she fell in, that comparison trap. So like I said, I know you love her, but you have to come out from amongst her if she's trying to drag you down, God, and God probably showing you too that you can't take her to where you're going. Because like I said, when a person is jealous of you, they'll try to sabotage everything concerning to you. They'll try to isolate your relationship. They'll try to poison your relationships, tell everybody certain things about you. They try to make you look like the bad person. They'll tell them half-truths. They'll tell them things, about you, but they won't tell them the full story. That's what I'm starting to notice in this season. They won't tell the full story. They'll just tell them what they want them to know to make them look good. Nah, tell them how this all started. That's what I want you to tell them. Yeah, but my thing is, like, in this season, I encourage you, if you're going through a situation, don't go back and forth with them. Don't retaliate. Let God handle it, because you ain't going to get nowhere. It's going to keep blowing up, blowing up. They're going to keep, the more and more you keep talking, the more and more they're going to keep smearing. You got to cut it off and leave them where they at. Because if a person got a problem being happy for you, you don't know what they'll do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a person, if they that jealous of you, you got to back up from them. Because a person shouldn't want, bad for somebody and pray on somebody's downfall because they feel like they're not where they want to be at in life. And as a chosen one, we still trying to get to where we want to be at in life. It takes a process. But like I say, most people, they want to take shortcuts. No, you can't take the elevator. You got to take the stairs. You said, tell me about me and my dad. Well, me and my dad, we had a very, very, very close relationship. My dad, he was very mysterious, and he taught me a lot of things, and it helped me be mysterious. Like, you can't tell everybody everything. You got to move a certain way. You know what I'm saying? He taught me how to move very strategically. When it came to my dad, like I said, we had a very close relationship. It made people jealous in my family, but guess what? That wasn't my burden to carry. And one thing I've noticed too, like when I did things for my daddy, I never was the type of person to announce, hey, I did this and I did that. One thing about me as a chosen one, I don't have to announce what I do. As long as that person that I'm talking to know I got their back, that's all they need to know. I don't have to go prove nothing to this person or prove nothing to that person. But people, like I said, a person that's coming from a not so good place, if they do something for somebody, they got to announce it. And when you start seeing people like that, you got to move from amongst them. Because let me tell you something. When God tells us, like, when you bless somebody, he don't want you to go bragging about, oh, I had to go pay their phone bill, or I had to go do this because they was about to get put out. God don't want you to talk about stuff like that. When you bless somebody, God wants you to be silent, because guess what? When you be silent, when you bless somebody, your blessing will be even bigger. That's why every time I do something for somebody, or every time somebody try to smear my name and tell me I didn't do this or didn't do that, I don't even try to clear it up. I don't even try to clap back. I don't even have the energy for it. I'm just like, oh, okay, I'll let you have that battle. I'm moving on to something bigger. While you still bitter, I'm getting better. You feel me? That's just where I'm at. But like I said, me and my daddy, we had a very close relationship, and it made people envy. You know, like I said, people envied it. Close family members envied it. And like I said, it's not my burden to carry because you mess up your relationship with them and trying to destroy mine. You know, people try to isolate me from my dad, try to destroy my relationship with my father because they mess up their relationship. But like I said, when I seen how they was moving, I removed myself, and I'm so glad I did. I was able to experience more peace now. I'm able to, be more happier, and no, I don't be around a lot of people, but guess what? I like it that way. I don't got to worry about nobody trying to snake me. I don't got to worry about nobody trying to isolate me and try to block my blessings, because you don't even have access no more in my life. Your time is up of doing wrongdoing in my life. You have to, and what God taught me on this journey, you have to set boundaries with people. And that's what I've learned. Because I know, like, with my father, he was always a very graceful person. And I'm going to be honest, like, I think if he fell short anyway, it was probably, like, not setting boundaries, enough, and kind of letting people kind of walk over him. And that's something that I, was trying to help him on. But, that's the only thing I would say that my father kind of, like, fell short on. But he was a wonderful father. And not even set boundaries. He didn't set boundaries because he loved so hard. When you love somebody, you kind of like just keep giving people chance after chance. But let me tell you something. You got to revoke their access in this season. As soon as they move wrong, bye, you're gone. You can say I'm cold all you want to. You think I'm going to sit here and let you keep hurting me? You got the wrong person. And see, that's the thing. A lot of people, like with me, becoming unrecognizable in how God got me moving out. They don't like me. And guess what? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And God didn't put us here to be liked. He put me here to fulfill a purpose. And he put me here to get this message out to the right people. And guide the right people to me. And those are the ones I want to help. Yep, those are the ones I want to help. I do want a tribe of people that, where we like each other and where we show love to each other. But the people that don't like me, I'm not going to beg and chase no relationships. If you don't like me, don't even come on my page. But that's how it is. Like, people that don't like you, they can't look away. They don't like you, but they can't stop watching you. And that's the crazy thing about this journey. You don't like me. Why are you following me? You don't like me. Why aren't you checking my stories? She said, oh, yes, boundaries, April. And she said, I gave boundaries to my ex, and he didn't want any. So after all the hurt he put me through, I walked away. Need to find, yeah. I'm telling you. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you're going to go through situations like, people don't like when you set boundaries. And that's what I'm beginning to realize. They don't like when you set boundaries. But I don't care what they don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to do what's best for you in this season. So if you don't, people going to try to break you down at every chance they get. Lisa said she got God in her life. Yes. I can definitely tell you got God in your life. Because God is guiding you. And you can tell when God guiding somebody. The ones that don't allow God to guide them, their life be chaos and confusion. That's how you know somebody not walking with God. And because some people choose the wrong path, they get mad at you. It's not your fault. And you got to be able to, like I said, and that's why I teach people and prospects that come to me. Like, I teach y'all how to master your emotions and how to master detachment and how to bounce back from situations that most people would never bounce back from. Because the stuff I've been through, you guys, like, I lost a lot of people in my family. You know what I'm saying? And I don't talk about my personal business as much because I don't like to share every single thing with everybody. Now, if you get into my mentorship program and my or my other tier that I got where I talk more closely, we do lives every week. Now, I share certain stories in there, but far as on here, with a lot of monitoring spirits at, nah, they'll never have the satisfaction to know everything in my personal life. Because they right there waiting to sabotage it. So if you interested and want to sign up to my paid prescriptions. I mean, not prescriptions, excuse me, subscriptions to, where we talk about more in-depth things, where we go into detail every week about private things that, we can't discuss here. Everything that we talk about in my paid subscription, we keep it sacred. Or in my mentorship program, we keep it sacred. And like I said, the people who've been dethroned and you feel like you can't bounce back, I teach you how to bounce back in my mentorship program. I teach you how to heal your betrayal. I teach you how to build your own legacy. I teach you how to leave that 9 to 5 that try to dethrone you and try to block your blessings. Lizzie said, trust me, if God wouldn't be in my life, I wouldn't probably be paralyzed right now. He saved me. Oh, she said, I would probably be paralyzed right now. Yeah, God saved you, definitely. And see, God saving you from a lot of battles that you can't even see. And when God saved you, he don't show you every attack that was going to happen to you. Because I'm going to be honest, some of the attacks that people planned and plotted against you will probably hurt you. Some people plotting to unalive people, but because of insurance money, because of like stupid stuff, because they greedy and don't want to work and be lazy. It just like, it's crazy out here. People are evil. They'll do anything for money. Anything but put the work in. And if you around somebody like that, you got to move from around them. People like, I see people getting underlive on TV all the time, on the news or on TikTok about stupid stuff, about controllers, about like crazy stuff. And I'm just like, people are losing it. She said, I trust women more than men. That's good, because I'm be honest, sometimes you can't trust them women either. Because I dealt with a whole bunch of people that try to sabotage me and attack me at their workplace and in families too. I'm telling you, they'll betray you too now. You can't always trust women, because you know what I'm saying? Like with women, they be real sneaky with it. They'll try to, pretend like they're your friend to try to learn everything about you. And as soon as y'all get in an argument, they'll use everything against you. You got to be very careful, of who your friend is. Are you a friend or are you a monitoring spirit? She said stroke, and I'm here, still here. Thanks, Lord. Oh, so Conspiracy said she had a stroke and she's still here. God bless you. I'm so glad that he saved you. And just keep applying pressure. And don't let nobody stress you out, because sometimes when you let people stress you out, that can cause you to, have strokes too. So just be careful who you have in your inner circle. Okay, Lizzie say, I was sabotaged by 2 women at work too. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Like, the women just as bad as the men. The men horrible too. Now, don't get me wrong. They horrible too, because they deal with, and see, most of these attacks and why women sabotage you is because they insecure. They dealing with insecurities. They don't want to heal. They just want to attack people because you are the mirror. And like I said, with most women, like I said, they'll pretend like they're your friend, but as soon as it look like you moving ahead of them, they're going to try to tear you down at every chance they get. And that's why you got to get from around them. She said, yes, I second that. God bless you. Yeah, But like I said, if y'all interested in trying to join, because every week I also educate chosen ones. I have free content too, where you can sign up on my free. If you want to, you can try my free newsletter list, where I educate you weekly on these topics. And if you like that, you can upgrade to the paid subscription. Like I said, we do more coaching in there, like where I talk to you more. Not really coaching, but it kind of feel like coaching, where I talk to you more and we more one-on-one versus just me sending you emails and educating you. Because I'm going to tell you something, with these attacks you go through, you need healing, like coaching healing, And like I said, with us being chosen, like we didn't really get the opportunity to have nobody coach us. We had to coach our own self through it. We had to lick our own wounds. And that's been a lot for me. Like, just seeing that I've been there for so many people that didn't even care, if I survived. Didn't even care, if I went without. And with me knowing that, when I make it, I'm going to remember all that energy. Because, like, one thing about me, if I rock with you, you could tell me, oh, goodness, I don't know how I'm going to eat next week. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go grocery shopping for you. And I'm not going to tell nobody what I had to do. I'm not going to spread your business out. If you need me, I'm there. That's the type of person I am. But everybody is not like that. Everybody feel like they got to go tell everybody what they had to do. No, you can't be that type of person and think God going to bless you. No, God is not going to bless you because you going around boasting about what you did. That's not a blessing when you got to boast about it. And go put people business out, because some people be shamed when they ask for help. That's why, I know my dad, like, he went through having pride, because when you ask certain people for help, like I said, they'll go brag about what they did to try to make you look bad, like you beg, like you got to beg them or need them. No, nobody begging you or need you. Just be there to help me when I need you. If you see me in need, help me. Don't talk about it. But people, like I said, they are obsessed with talking about what they had to do for you. If it wasn't for them, they want credit. And see, that's what God, I can't speak for everybody else, but on my journey, a lot of people in my life want to feel like they took the credit for everything. But God said, no, the glory going to him. You're not going to take credit for what I done. They want to take credit for everything. Oh, she wouldn't be where she at if it wasn't for me. No, you ain't had nothing to do with my growth. You wasn't even there when I was elevating. You wasn't even there when I was going through those, tough times. You was never there for me. Ever. So why should I allow you back when I start elevating? No. You need to keep that same energy. And you're gonna have people, you're gonna have to be careful. You're gonna have a lot of people that was not there for you, gonna try to come back when they see you elevating. No, do not allow them back in your life. She said, I help without getting any credit, and I am happy to do it. Yeah, that's how God wants us to be. And I'm like that too, Lizzie. Me and you the same. Like, when you help somebody, you don't have to talk about what you had to do to embarrass that person. Because sometimes that embarrass people for you having to help them. Who likes to ask for help? Nobody. Not that you're being prideful, but people don't like to ask nobody for no money. I can't speak for everybody, but I don't like to ask nobody for nothing. I like to work hard. Like, if I see one thing about me, I like to plan ahead. If it look like I'm going to be inconvenienced, I'm thinking, like, I got like 3 plans. Like, okay, if this don't work, I'm going to do this. If that don't work, I'm going to do this. But everybody don't think like that. Everybody just like, one thing go bad. Oh, I'm doomed. I don't know what I'm going to do. Nah, I'm not having those feelings. If something dethrone me, I'm going to make sure I hone in on what dethroned me so it won't dethrone me again. And see, like I say, that's why that resilience, that's why I teach you. Like, I'm telling you, you will love it inside my mentorship program or any programs or, that I have, free or paid, no pressure. And that's why I also created my spiritual warfare prayer book for you guys too. Like, if you're dealing with certain situations, some people already bought for me and I appreciate it. But if you're dealing with certain situations where, you're dealing with spiritual battles that you feeling like dethrone you, or because you fighting unseen battles, you feeling isolated, I wrote a book to help you heal from feeling like that. You have to armor up. If you're dealing with witchcraft attacks, if you're dealing with workplace betrayal, family betrayals, if you're dealing with occult attacks, in my prayer book, I have all kind of prayers for that stuff. People trying to put hexes on you. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised at what people doing out here. And if you ain't prayed up, you won't even know it. Yep. But I had so much fun with you guys. I ain't even going to stay on here too long. I probably be done talk y'all head off if I stay on here too long. But I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. I appreciate everything you do when it comes to my tribe. I appreciate you guys. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and go. And like I said, before I leave, don't forget to check out my products. They very beneficial. And if any of you feel led to, sow a seed in my ministry, that'll bless me too, but no pressure. I appreciate everything that y'all do. She said, yes, keep being who you are, resilient, purposeful, strong, discerning, and beautiful. Thank you so much, Lizzie. Thank you so much. I appreciate the positive energy and the positive vibes, but I'm going to try to come on here. She said, soon I will check it out. Thank you so much, Lizzie. But I'm going to try to come on here more often and talk to you guys, and like I said, sometime when I deal through my pain, I can't pour into you guys on an empty cup, and I'm not going to come on here when my cup is empty. When I come on here, my cup going to be full so I can make sure that y'all getting the healing that y'all need. I love you guys. I'll see y'all later. See you in the next one. Bye.